Hello, everyone. In the most difficult moments of our lives, God always has a good word of encouragement for us. It is because He knows we depend of Him to succeed during our difficult moments. And it is exactly on this topic I would like to talk today. And for this topic, my keyword is Thursday. Thursday is a very simple but powerful word. This is a Greek word. And the most common translations say that Thursday means, for example, push yourself. For me, push yourself is do a little more than we are doing in your day by day normally. So do a little more than you normally do. Another translation, simple translation we can find is be a good cheer. Maybe for some of you, the expression good cheer will not be very common, because cheer is already a positive word. But good maybe is not necessary in English. But when you talk about Greek is a very detailed language. So it is very important when some feeling or action or intention or plan from God is mentioned like cheer, it is necessary according Greek, according this language, to mention the quality, the adjective of this noun, a feeling or a decision or a proposal, but is necessary, is very important to mention the quality. In this case, if I make a quick comparison, I can think, for example, when the cheer or the motivation or the courage comes from the man, so maybe it can be temporal. It's a kind of motivation or encouragement which endure just for maybe per minutes, days, maybe weeks. This is the kind of motivation or excitement which comes from circumstances. For example, a party, a birthday party, or a graduation, or when we receive a gift, or a special situation. It's possible to feel a kind of encouraged or motivated or a little more happy or happier because someone or some circumstance made the eyes or helped the eyes or led the eyes to feel like this. But when the feeling or the action or the intention comes from God, in Greek, it's usually common to mention the adjective or the quality of this action or intention or plan or feeling or however we have in front of us in that moment. So in this case, because this feeling or this intention is from God, it's very important to mention this is a good encouragement, a good bravery, positive encouragement. Why I make this kind of difference? Because it is possible some people get a kind of courage, but not for good actions. Some people are brave, but to do bad things. But when God bring to our lives or create inside of us a special feeling like cheer or courage or be brave, always, however He gives to us, or however he creates inside of us, is positive and is permanent. So the word good here agreed with the quality of the encouragement, because it's from God is positive, and also because it's from God is permanent. For this, good cheer is the best expression for Tarsei, in this case in Greek. Another translation we find in the very common way is go ahead. This is the opposite of stop, right? Go ahead express bravery, express also a great encouragement. So be brave. So don't express fear, don't be shy, don't be coward, but be brave. This kind of language or vocabulary is appropriated from our powerful God. He is the one who says to me and you every day, be brave, no matter what the circumstance, no matter the number of your enemies, no matter is the adversity you face in this moment, be brave, putting our confidence in our powerful God. So another is courage. This is a very beautiful word for me. Courage is a very imperative word in my opinion. So these simple translations help us to understand a little bit which is the meaning, the deep understanding of the short a little word Tarsei. So, but to understand more deeply which this word Tarsei says or means, is very important to go directly to the original of the word. So what we'll do now, we'll take the same word Tarsei, and you start to understand by the prefix of this word. It's the first part of the word, which is tar or tar, so which is from within or something from inside of us. When we think about something inside of us, usually we think about something we cannot see, we cannot touch, we cannot change even. For this reason, we relate this work which happens inside of us or inside of the man with God, with our Lord, who is the only who can go very inside of us to work in these very secret places, very sometimes dark places, difficult places or difficult situations we have yet inside of us. He is the only who can go there and work very hard and together. Me or we together in God can see the final, the good result. For this reason, in general, Tarsei is related with be brave from inside of us, from within. This is one way to understand from the original the expression Tarsei. The second part of this deep understanding, in my opinion, is think about the verb of this word, which is implicit in this word. So first we'll see Tarsei is in the present tense. It's something for now, for right now, for today. The second is activities, is operantes, real. The last part we see in Greek, we have a first, second, third of a plural. The second of a plural in Greek corresponds to vosotros in Spanish or vos in Portuguese, but in English I know you don't have vosotros, but we can transfer the second of a plural to the second of a singular, which is tu or you. The application is the same. So in this case, we are talking about grammar. But the most important part for me, all these three little explanations, is this word I marked here, which is imperative. What it means. So, say is an imperative command. Is a command, yes, under the or according the imperative mood. Which imperative word means in this case? The imperative command, the imperative order, the imperative decision is something we cannot change, right? We cannot ignore even because as firm as there, also we cannot disobey. So because as from God, all his imperative command needed to be listening, it needed to be obeyed in the same time, because also all of them are good for us. When God say, he say, be brave, courageous, ahead, you go ahead, don't stop, continue. All these kind of expressions show how decided God is relating us, no matter our circumstance. In this point, he is not asking you, do you understand? Do you agree? Do you accept? No questions. He just say, be brave, be courageous, be strong, go ahead, don't stop. No matter as your circumstance. Today, God say, be brave, be strong, go ahead, even if the circumstance is so difficult for you. Even if the adversities are so stressful, even if the time, the season, even if another area of your life is being affected, the word of God to you and to me today is, go ahead, be brave, don't fall, don't faint, don't give up, don't ignore, but go ahead and be brave. And this is an imperative word. As I said before, it is not a kind of opinion, it's not God's suggestion, it's not a question. It does not give us any opportunity to think, to analyze, to say, well, maybe I accept, maybe no. No. He just say, do it. And we have to do. Also because it's very good. To be brave in this present time is something so essential. Because the time, the season where we are now is really difficult for so many people in so many areas. But in front of this, God continues to be strong and very powerful, like always He was, like always He will be. And think about this, He say, do you know? Be brave. Don't faint. Don't fear. Don't run away. Stay there and stay firm. So if you take these two brief concepts, you will understand very well what God wanted to say to us in this moment through this word, say. It is a very simple but powerful word. So, say is now in Greek as one of the most popular or one of the most common words in the Bible, in His word. So it's very common. Why is very common? Because it's one of the favorite expressions from our God to us. When He say, be brave, it's because He is already thinking in my huge victory I will get if I obey and don't give up. Also, this word say appear in the Bible more than 60 times. we can find more than 60 Bible citations, and some of them are more than us in the same verse, the same reference. So now my question in this point is why? Why it is so constant? Why this expression tacit repeat so many times? So one of my quick answer is, as God, as a very good God, a very good Father, like all other good Father, has the strategy, maybe I can say this, the strategy of the repetition. He repeat the same thing one other time, because all good Father who want his children learn something, don't forget what Daddy does. Repeat, repeat, and repeat until the children memorize, keep the information in their little head, and become or make this information, this advice, become like a habit. When the information changes to become a habit, then I think we can believe we are learning something useful, and we can see the good result, the next step. So my opinion in this point is God is our Father. Our good Father also repeat things to help us to learn how to walk correctly, doing the correct action to get the correct best answer or result too. This is one of my reasons, but it is a very common expression in the Greek of the New Testament. So, tacit, like we'll see from now, has a very close connection with the word bravery. To be brave, bravery, and bravery also is very connected with another most powerful word, which is victory. So nobody can get a victory in any area of their life if first this person is not a brave person. He does not understand the goal, the plan of God for him or her to get here in this point of victory. When I talk about victory, I am not talking about the social victory, or the human victory, or the physical victory. It's possible we get some victories in our social life. For example, when we get a promotion, for example, when we get or participate in a big event, it's good, it can be a kind of a victory, but this kind of a victory from the social, human life or situations is not permanent. Sometimes this kind of a good feeling ends sooner than we can imagine. But when we think about God's victory, it is really permanent. In one of the proof, for example, evidence can be, I am showing you, like me, went already through difficult situations, any area of your life, even when if someone die, for example, in your family, it's common. We are yet even feeling pain, even feeling this kind of lost. We can yet pray. We can say, God, thank you because you are with me. We can see it in a kind of a positive way, the hard, sad experience. Why? Because this victory of God is something which endures, is permanent, it remains even during our chaos, our very difficult moments, even if it's kind of a tragedy or catastrophe, calamity, no matter what the huge situation, The victory of God is always permanent. Because remember from the beginning, good cheer, good victory. Because the cheer of the victory comes from him, from the word Tarsei. So the victory is complete, is perfect, is permanent. I mean, it is forever, no matter is our problem in this moment. So Tarsei is connected with bravery and victory, but especially the victory of God, or God's victory. So which verse in the Bible I can use it to support everything I'm saying here? So we have several tests, Bible tests, but I took this here because I imagine everybody knows this verse by memory, right? John 16:33. This is just the second part of the text. You see here this sign is indicate just the second part. So we read this this text in Greek, which say, «Εν το κόσμο έχετε πλήψην αλλά τάσετε μόνοι νίκηκα τον κόσμο». This is a very beautiful text. In English say, in the world you will go through afflictions, but be a good cheer. Do you remember the good? Maybe it's not a common, but the direct translation from Greek, it is a good cheer, because I conquered the world. So in this text, we will see three important things. One is, first part, in the world you go through afflictions. This first part shows to us that God does not hide from us the fact we are going or we will go through afflictions. Affliction in Greek, the word klipsin, here you are seeing, is not just a simple problem. No. Klipsin is more than a problem in Greek, because klipsin is the situation which brings pain to you. Klipsin usually make you cry, make you suffer. It is not a simple problem, because simple problem is we can even ignore, we leave it there, no matter the time you will fix this by itself. But klipsin move us a little bit, work a little hard inside of us. The first part of this text, God says, in the world you will go through afflictions, through hard moments, through a very hard moments. You'll suffer, you'll cry, you'll lose, or however other things we can include in this kind of a definition. I just repeat, affliction is not a simple problem, it's the most difficult, it's the hardest situation. So in this case, this test is here first because we are in the war. If you are in the war, we are human, right? And because we are humans, we naturally go through afflictions. So now, the other side of the affliction is, for one side, it is hard problem, hard situation, painful circumstance. But for the other side, according to the context of this test, the afflictions are necessary to our spiritual development. We grow when we go through afflictions, and even fighting, suffering, you go through this kind of process. And the other time you complete the process free, like a huge victory. After this process of the klipsin or the afflictions, I'm very sure you are stronger, I am stronger, we are firm, we have a more clear vision, we are more dependent of God. And even I see myself, usually when I face afflictions, I depend more of him. If I feel like my communion, my intimacy with God become very, very close, very much better. I feel like I am very, very close. Our intimacy with him improve a lot during our difficult times. Why? Because the problem is nobody else can help us. God is our only and best option. We throw them, we throw ourselves in him, and fight with ourselves to walk in the level which he is expecting from us to be until to get our victory. The second part of this verse says again, be a good cheer. As I say, the direct translation from Greek shows the quality of God's action. If it's a feeling or a decision or a plan, usually we have an adjective in front just to make the difference when something comes from man or comes from God. In this case, that's sake is the word we are working with comes from God. This is a real and true and perfect encouragement. It's not like something which comes from someone else in our lives. Sometimes it is not really honest word or honest intention. When we think about God, everything from him is honesty, is clean, is true, is real, is forever. For this reason, to mark the quality of his encouragement, this word good is like dignifying, is increasing the amount, the huge power of the word cheer or encouragement for him. The third part is because I conquered the world. So when Jesus conquered the world, he did also above all kinds of temptations, persecutions, condemnations, criticism, all this kind of thing we face every day in our lives. So this text for me suggests something like this. I conquered the world, and you can do it too. You can conquer the world. You can overcome. You can succeed. You can get a huge victory above all this kind of situation which comes against you. Because honestly, if it was not to be an example for me and you, why this expression is here? For one side, yes, is to proclaim the victory of Jesus in the world, the victory of God, but the other side is to teach us how to conquer, how to be a victor, how to succeed like Jesus did, because he was here as a human, 100% human too. Besides to be perfect God, he was a perfect human. So we are human. The difference is we are not perfect, but you are human too. God is trying to teach us how to succeed all these difficult situations, all the flipsing, all the afflictions, temptations, discouragement, all these things to be victorious in the final of everything. So John 16:33 is my favorite Bible text for this topic. So we saw right now Thursday is associated with victory, right? We saw right now, but the victory of God, which is permanent, never end. So for this reason, this word Thursday agreed with God's postures towards us. God's posture. So which kind of posture God has about us? His position, his decision, his motivation is all positive, right? God never will treat us like using a negative expression, a negative action, something like this. He is all positive. His decision, his posture is positive. He is all in our favor because he wants to lead us to this victory we see here. Remember, his victory is much more important than mine or yours or however we imagine our lives. So, and because of this, he always sees us with a victory look. And he sees us under a look of a victory. In other words, I'm trying to explain, God never will see me or you under a negative way, under criticism, under condemnation. He never will see you or me like, oh, you are weak, you will not get there, you are ignorant, you are nothing. Never. He always sees us with a very good and positive way. And look how to see us. He sees us in a very positive way. And the Bible mentions some individuals, some persons, some people who made a huge mistake, but in the final, God continued to see them in a very good and positive way. So he never sees us under a defeated way. Never like you cannot. You never will get there. You are good for nothing. Never defeated. So, to support all these things, a little more, I took Romans 8:37. Which kind of a message this verse says? You know already, right? Let me show you know this verse by memory. In all these things, we are more than conquerors. So here we will see three important things again. First is the word all. All these talk about the totality, something complete, or each side of something. In this case, we talked in John 16:33 about eclipsing or afflictions. In this case, if we understand it the same way, we can take this all, we think about all kind of affliction, all kind of problem, all kind of difficulties, all kind of situations. The big problem is in the little. The huge affliction is the other, a little bit we think we can work with. All kind of situation. The one who make us scared. The one which make us a little exhausted. So all kind of adversity. All kind of oppositions. All kind of even enemies. All kind of bad situations. In all these things he agreed perfectly with eclipsing. Afflictions. In all these afflictions from John 16:33, we are. So this is the second observation. This is a verb, as you know, and this verb is in present tense. So this verse is declaring, is a mention in a very open way to help us to understand. You already are. It does not talk about the past, you were, or the future, you will. No, it's saying the present tense, you are already, right now, more than conquerors. Now I think about this expression more than. Why this expression is here? I think when Paul, who wrote the letter to Romans, he maybe, this is my opinion, maybe he didn't find the perfect expression to match. I'm talking now about the level of importance to match with the word conquerors. which comes from victory. We are conquerors, we are victorious because God is victory, right? So Paul didn't have a perfect expression to dignify, to augment, to increase the importance of this next word. For this reason, our translations say more than. Another version say much more than. Why? It here is a kind of aumentative, as aumenta, increasing expression. Why? Because the victory implicit here in this next word, which is from God, is not a very little victory, is not a very simple, is not a human, is not a social victory, is not nothing about this. Conquerors comes from victory, because if we don't get this victory, you never will be conquerors above something or relating something. So much more than is a huge aumentative, just to say to me and you, the victory you have, the kind of victories or conquerors you are, is not a simple thing. In fact, brother and sister, if we think about the huge level of this word in their context around this, if you concentrate on the victory of God to our lives, in which kind of victorious people He made us to be, we never will be worried again. We never will be stressed again. We never will be depressed. Never will get this kind of crazy thoughts in our minds, because His victory is enough to cover all our little capacity, or little understanding, or little strength is enough. So probably for this reason, I think with myself, Paul say, you are more than, or you are much more than conquerors in Jesus Christ. So you are more than conquerors, above all these clippings we see here in the top of the verse. So these three observations are very important, but in harmony with more than or much more than is the present tense. We already are more than conquerors. It is something for today, for now. It's for this time you are facing the situation. It's for this circumstance you are facing right now. It's for this impossibility you are facing in front of you. In this exactly moment, God say, hey, be brave, because you are already more than conquerors. So, we'll see here, this is my understanding for this reason, because we are more than conquerors, because the powerful and sweet and positive way like God sees us, I believe there is no reference in the Bible that shows men falling from the grace of God by divine decree. So why I did this pause here? I can say just like this. There is no reference in the Bible that shows a man falling from the grace of God, period. But if I say just this, probably you will think, oh no, it is not true, because I know in the Bible some people fell from God's grace. Yes, it is true. For example, Judas Iscariot, he sold Jesus by money. You know this. He also, in the final, he committed suicide. But I ask you, it was by divine decree? No, it was not. He made a decision. He fell from the grace of God, literally. And the worst is, he fell forever. But it was by divine decree? No. It was because Judas and other people, even the Bible, like the first king of Israel, Saul, I think his name, they used the something which God gave to us, which is the free will. The two both and other more used the free will, and they made a decision by themselves, and the thing is they made a wrong decision, right? So, if someone else fell, this is the conclusion of my argument, it was because they decided to make like this, to make this decision. So, Judas Iscariotes, or Saul in the Old Testament and others, if someone made a wrong decision, it's not because God decided that this man will fall for my grace. I made a plan, it will happen. No, God never thought like this, because as you saw already previously, his ideas, his feelings, his thoughts, his projects relating to our lives are all very positive. Even when we don't deserve, even when we have more faults than good things, more deformities than perfection. Even like this, God never will think bad or negative or in some frustrated way about us. He never decided this man, he never designed in his mind, he never imagined if someone fell, it's because they decided to make their wrong decision. So, after all these comments, what does push yourself mean? This is after my investigation, I go to these conclusions. First, I believe push yourself is do more than we normally do. More than. Is make you make a little more of effort. For example, if you pray 30 minutes per day, if you push yourself a little more, maybe you can pray 45 minutes, 1 hour, because you are push yourself to do something more. If you meditate in the Bible 10 minutes, if you push yourself, you can meditate maybe 20 minutes. These are just examples. We can talk about other things, like help others, like be patient, right? I needed to learn about this. Push myself and be more patient. We needed to push ourselves to understand better others. We needed to push ourselves to speak less, to talk less, and listen more. We needed to push ourselves to be more tolerant. So many things we needed to improve if we push ourselves a little more. Second step is, after we decided to do a little more than we normally do, next, keep doing it. Continue to do every day. In the final, we'll see the huge difference of all our efforts. In the final, I think this is God's expectation about us. He desires, He wants, He expects, He is, in my human language, He is anxious to see us improve in this aspect. So push yourself always brings good result. So cheer up in front of your thought. Push yourself in front of you what? I bring here a very simple table to show you. We can push ourselves against our afflictions. Why? We saw already in John 16:33, the afflictions are the huge and most difficult situations. There's not a simple problems, no. They are exactly the problems which make us suffer, feel pain, cry, feel like everything became a chaos or something like this. Usually the afflictions ataque aos families, ou aos economic life, aos profession, your job, aos spiritual life, anyway, the huge situations. So we need to push ourselves against our afflictions. Now one thing comes to my mind right now. Maybe your affliction is not exactly a big problem like affliction. Maybe it's just the anxiety. You fight against your anxieties, or some concerns, or preoccupation, or doubts, or fear. Things like this, abstract situation, not exactly real problems. They are no good too, but there is a kind of difference between one and the other. God say, push yourself to succeed above, to overcome all these afflictions. And again, the text we read before, the verse say, in the world you will go through affliction. We know already, but be a good cheer, be brave, because I conquered the world. So no matter what the dimension, the scaled appearance of this affliction, if we are brave, if you continue brave, remembering who is with us, we will conquer the world with all these kind of dismotivation problems like Jesus did, and get our powerful victory from him. Second, push yourself against the tiredness. So Isaiah 40:31 says what? Those who wait for the Lord will have new strength. They will lift their wings like eagle. They will run and not get tired. They will walk and not get fatigued. So, here in this text we see three very simple things. First is the condition to be a conqueror, to get a victory, which is the condition in the first part of this text, is waiting for the Lord, waiting for his action, waiting for his answer, waiting for his direction, waiting for his salvation from our difficult situations. Waiting for the Lord, express our faith and our deep confidence on him. And God loves this. No matter what the situation. If you wait for God, for the Lord, you are express how much you believe in him. And it is so special for him. The second, the consequence is, if you wait for the Lord, you will have new strength. So no matter what you do, you never will get exhausted, because it will be like a fountain. Every day, new strength, new life, new motivation from the Lord we can get. Next, they will lift the wings like an eagle. So this point I see a kind of comparison. God is comparing us with the eagles. The eagle is a very beautiful, powerful bird, right? We know a little bit about the history, the life of the eagles. This bird fly very high. Probably is the one who fly highest than other bird. But do you know the eagle doesn't fly very, very, very high because they learn how to do this? No, it's not just because of this. It's not even because they are a look bird, they can do it by looking. No, it is not possible. The thing is, they have a natural structure to do it naturally. So maybe because they fly every day, all the time, they develop the kind of a strength. And they develop their wings, for example, are so huge, so powerful, so strong. Their muscle very well developed. As God's desire, we learn how to dream very high. As His plan, as His desire, how we work hard, push ourselves, like we see here, in order to get a powerful spiritual muscles and to get to do things we normally cannot do by ourselves. So this strength and this special capacity to fly very, 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 very high is by training. Is when we take all these advices from our God and transform all of this in habits. When we develop the habit to pray every day, to depend of God every day, to believe in Him every day, to be honest every day, to not lie never again, not do things we know are not good, our spiritual muscles start to grow and grow and grow. And one moment, we maybe will not be counted the days, but one day we will see we are flying very high. We started to see the answer of our huge dreams happening right now because we took time to develop our spiritual life. The second part that we also see here in the eagle, talking about the eagle, they have a very powerful vision. I was reading about them, and the eagle usually can see even if the direction where their eyes are pointing is very dark. They can see through the darkness. They can see through the huge distance. No matter how high they are, they see in the ground, however it is. If their little children, for example, are there, the little birds are there, some other animal come to take, the eagle can see come directly because of their powerful vision helps them. How is our spiritual vision today? Sometimes we fall, we find our faith. You give up so soon just because we lost our vision. We forget who we are. And do you know, we are much more special than an eagle because we are children of God. His Spirit is inside of each one of you, talking to us every day, reminding us things we are forgetting, helping us to succeed above our personal difficulties. We are much more important than the eagle, but sometimes we have the bad habit to forget who we are. And for this reason, some fell. It is really no good conclusion. The last part of this verse say, you will walk, you will run and not get tired. So you run, no matter is the speed, you can run very, very, very fast, you will not get tired, not get weary. And you walk, you will not get fatigue, you will not be exhausted. Do you know, no exhaustion, no tired, no fatigue, just because all of this comes directly from God. Our new strength, like the first part of the verse. Those who wait for the Lord will have a new strength. He has a kind of a fountain. And from Him we can take, we can extract every necessary quality or aspects to to continue our day by day. The third, we have to push ourselves against our discouragement. Discouragement is exactly the opposite of courage, right? So here we need really to fight against the discouragement, because right now we have so many situations who can make the people very discouraged. So Deuteronomy 31:8 says, "The Lord goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you, not forsake you. Do not fear or be intimidated." In this point, we see also three things. First, the Lord goes before you. This first part of the verse is very, very, very important to remember every day. Where God is. I ask according to the text. The first part of the text says he is before or in front, right? Another verse says he is in front. In other words, God is not behind us. He is not in other place, a kind of lost, because he doesn't know where we are. No, it's not like this. The Bible says, the verse says he is in front. He is there, very firm, very decided. He is in front of you. Why? God is there for what? Which is the intention of someone who stood very front? When someone is in front, is for what? First, open the doors. He is there to open the doors which you cannot open by yourself. He is in front to clean the way, to make easier for your steps day by day. If your way is clean, you see clear, you will not have any kind of distraction to go to the right or to the left. You will walk easier because the way, the road is clean. Also, he is there in front to destroy, to disperse our enemies. Sometimes the enemies are there, stuck in some place waiting for us to rob our blessings, to rob our peace. But God is there. He is there very decided to disperse our enemies and to give us his big victory. So God is in front. He is not lost. Some people sometimes think God is sleeping, or he forgot, or he changed of mind, or he gave up already. No, God is not like you and me. He is in front. And the second part says, he will be with you. And I take this verse like this. He is in front, and he will continue in front with me. He will continue in front for me, or because you, or because of me. He is there for us. So, brother and sister, I think this now. If our powerful God is in front of our lives, in front of our situation, which else we need to succeed in our situation? If we have already everything, we have the most powerful God in our favor. If he is, I think about me. If he is with me, I don't need anything else, because he is my principal solution, my principal strategy to get victory. So the next say, he will not leave you or forsake you. Apparently God, no, he knew that time, oh, they will think I will leave you, I will get tired of them. No. Before we think, he say already, I will not leave you. Don't be worried, I never will move from where I am now. And the final say, for this reason, don't fear. Don't fear, don't be scared, don't be worried, don't be stressed, don't be exhausted, don't be crazy. Don't be shy, don't be intimidated, because I am with you there. What I say, it I will do. This is our powerful God. He is perfectly faithful for each one of us. So, ever just to listen everything I say now, I ask you this. Which kind of motivation follows you today? Have to think with me about this beautiful and powerful word. Say, be brave. Go ahead. Push yourself a little bit to continue until you get the victory. So, which kind of motivation follows us today? To continue? If this is your feeling, you are in the right direction, I think. To stop yourself, oh, no, it is not good. Just the people who got lost, stop the way, right? It's like when you are driving, suddenly the GPS turn off or die, or you lose the map, you get confused, you stop, you don't know where you are anymore. We are not lost, because our God is where? In front of us. If you lose your map, which is the Bible, if you forget for some reason His promises, He is there to say, hey, I am here yet, remember, I am here. This is the way. Don't get confused, don't get a distraction. Also, give up? No, just the coward people give up, right? And we are not coward. Even the Bible says God did not give you a spirit of coward, of fear, but He gave us the spirit of power to continue, right? We are victorious, you are not. Loser, remember, loser is the opposite of conquerors. To run away is not good. Just the people who walk by fear, run away, hide themselves. We are not cowardly, we are not walking by fear. And again, the same verse say God didn't give us a spirit of fear or cowardly, but a spirit of power to continue. So, remember that God's expectation is you and me, to win, to succeed, to overcome these situations. Any decision outside of this focus of a victory, will turn into a great loss, or a great waste, a great confusion, and a great shame. And I don't want it for me. For this, I prefer to push myself a little more, because I know the very good conclusion will come. Now about the conclusion. After talking all these things, how can we conclude this topic? I decided to come again to John 16:33, just the second part of the text. It say, en to cosmo ete plexin na la tarsete moi niniki katon cosmo. So this is a very special and beautiful topic. I forgot to mention the beginning, but here in the first part, plexin is afflictions. Here we have a preposition, ala, que is like but. And the next is the word tasei, the word which is the key word for our meditation, our devotion right now. Tatete, the termination, the suffix here referring to the second of a plural, que is vós or vosotros. You don't have in English, but this is directly to vós. In this case, we transfer for the second of singular, yes, tu, and the application is the same. Tu or ellos is the same, or tu or they. So, tasei is heal, tarsei, be brave, courage, have a good chair, or push yourself, all comes from all these expressions come from Tarsei. The final hue is the second plural, but the hue is afflictions more than problems. So we have a kind of comparison, right? The first part, God says, in the world, you will go through things, these ugly and difficult situations. But in the battle hill, Allah comes, brings to us a new hope. Tacite, be brave. But be brave, because yo venci al mundo. I won the battle, the spiritual situation, and I overcame against this flipsing. And now you can be more than conquerors too. So in the world you will go through affliction. It's all present, right? You go. It's not you went or you will. It's present time. You go through affliction. It may be right now. You are faced with one difficult situation. What you have to do? To give up? To run away? To hide yourself? No. The decision is do this, what the second part says. Be brave. Go ahead. Push yourself a little bit, because I conquered the world and you can do it too. It is a very good word. So, if you wait with me until now, thank you so much. I hope I can see you next time for our second and next video. Okay? Thank you.